Hey guys, welcome to this week's video that I do this way around, the POV style. Guys, we're going to talk about $1,000 approximately worth of vintage classic fragrances like the amazing, hard to find Dolce & Gabbana by Man. Before we do that, folks, don't forget to go to myfragrancesamples.com if you want to buy fragrance samples in the USA, Canada, or Puerto Rico. Amazing range of designer and niche scents there, and the link is in the description. I really recommend these guys. Okay, I've got a really big collection of fragrances, and I was looking at a few vintage ones and thought, let's put together several bottles that would add up to over $1,000 or pounds, rough. Well, let's call it dollars. Probably over £1,000 actually. So here we go. Number one, these are all vintage discontinued ones that people are charging an arm and a leg for on eBay. I was so lucky to pick this up cheap in a charity shop years ago. By Man by Dolce & Gabbana. Wasn't a huge commercial success. Fantastic powdery lavender barbershop scent. A little bit like the D&G's answer to La Mal. I actually prefer it to La Mal. Really interesting bottle design. Slightly quirky, a bit feminine looking, I guess, that bottle design. Maybe that's why men didn't like it. You can get this, if you want anything like a full-size bottle, a full bottle, 100ml, you're looking at £200-300 upwards on the old eBay. So that's a great place to start. Let's move on to another one. Really hard to find. You can find samples of this one, the little minis, but a decent sized bottle, as I've got here, but with only about 30ml in it, of Dior Jewels, the 1980 classic masculine powerhouse. So lucky to have that one in the collection. Got it for a reasonably good price years ago. And again, you're going to be looking at probably £100 to get any kind of full size bottle plus. Let's say 150 or something. So you could be looking at let's say 200 plus 150, £350 on the deck there already, probably, to pick up fragrances like this. Although I did get lucky with that one for a cheaper price. Fantastic, fresh, kind of citrus opening notes, and then woody, rugged, similar to Koros by Yves Saint Laurent in some ways, green, but a little bit fresher and less animalic than that one. I really like Jules, an under the radar gem. Let's move swiftly on then. Here we go. Opium from 1995. It's Opium Eau de Parfum. Fantastic fruity oriental fragrance. Notes include on this one bourbon vanilla, aniseed, cassis, that's blackcurrant, and Tolu balsam. Very, very rich, unctuous fragrance. Absolutely fantastic. You're probably going to be looking at a good £70-80 on that one. So let's take ourselves up at least to the £400 mark already on the amount of money that these bad boys would probably be costing you if you got them into your collection. Fantastic fragrance, that one. Let's move on. We won't put them all on the screen at once. Let's put next one up there. Rive Gauche Pour Homme, Yves Saint Laurent. Legendary fragrance. Has changed the camera angle a little bit so we get that in. Rive Gauche, one of the best barbershop fragrances ever. Only a 2003 release, so not as ancient as some of the others, but it didn't last long. Look at that fantastic bottle design. I really like what they did there. And this is a beautiful barbershop, kind of like an really expensive shaving foam. A little bit of anise again, that licorice S-twist with the lavender and all the other classic. Just smells like a really, really great upscale barbershop fragrance, and a great dad smell. Probably looking at for 25ml bottle there in good condition and mostly full. Good £100 there, so we must be over the £500 mark already. Fantastic fragrance. Get it if you can. Some of these you'll stumble across them. Here we go with the real gem then, guys. It's Koros, Yves Saint Laurent, the legendary powerhouse of the early 80s, 1980 release, and this one is the original Paris of the Ritz formula. If you see the Koros halfway down instead of about there, it means it's the first version where it just says on the bottom something about Paris and not Newly or Parfums Corp or other versions. A bit boring, geeky there. Again, if someone knows what they've got and they're selling this as a Paris of the Ritz original formula, it's going to be at least £100, probably more, £125. So probably up to about let's say £625 already, easy on these fragrances. Fantastic masculine powerhouse. Civet, you've got, it's everything but the kitchen sink. It's kind of soapy and fresh, and then it's got this animalic, rugged undertone to the fragrance. Really, really fascinating fragrance. A bit of honey in there, along with musks and very strong musk fragrance. I like it. Not everyone gets it, but I think Koros is a real masculine classic. Let's move on. Okay, folks. Paco Rabanne, Sport de Paco Rabanne. If you want to get a bottle of that kind of size there, about 100ml bottle there, I think you're looking at a good £125. So that takes us up around about £725 already. Paco Rabanne Sport, it's a flanker to the original Paco Rabanne Pour Homme, but it's a little bit more green. It has lime, a little bit more citrusy, very fresh, masculine, rugged, fougere. Great fragrance, not a powerhouse, a little bit more of a barbershop vibe. Something unique and green about that one. Really like Paco Rabanne, Sport de Paco Rabanne, long discontinued. Let's move on. Okay, so we're up by about £725 already. Oh, yeah, I've forgotten the numbers now. Well, this is going to take it over the 100. This is over the 1,000 already. Patu pour homme. I paid £240 for this. So let's round. We're pretty much at £1,000 already, which is well over $1,000. Amazing aromatic fougere, 1980 release, and it is really, really nice. I'm not sure it's as great as everybody thinks. It's just hyped up so much because it's so rare, and that's why the prices are really inflated. But Patu pour homme, fantastic. If you like your barbershop things, if you like things like Azaro pour homme, the 1978 classic, it's a little bit like that, maybe a little bit richer and better. I really do like it, but I don't know that it's necessarily something you need to spend that amount of money on. Moving on then, something a little bit more contemporary, but not much. Encense from Givenchy, fantastic floral and citrus, so beautiful floral notes, blackcurrant in there, and loads, or a melange of different floral accords. It smells like kind of spring blossom embodied in the form of a masculine fragrance, if that makes any kind of sense, which it probably doesn't. Really hard to find. Probably a good £70 or no, £100 upwards really for any kind of decent amount in your bottle. I've actually got two because I'm kind of a big deal. And you can hunt those out. You will get lucky maybe. Some of these I've paid a little bit less than I'm telling you the price here. And we will wrap things up with Habit Rouge Sport. Really hard to find now. This was available real cheap until recently. But Habit Rouge Sport 2009 release. Beautiful, fresh flanker to the original Habit Rouge. It's kind of citrus with rose and a weird note of bamboo, which I have no idea how it smells. It smells a little bit less old-fashioned than the original Habit Rouge. It's magic. It's a fresh, sporty fragrance, but not anything like any other one out there. Nothing like Chanel Allure Homme Sport or any of those typical sports fragrances from the early 2000s. This is just amazing. But again, you're going to be looking at probably £90, £80 upwards if you find a bottle on eBay. So well over £1,000 already. And I had others that I could show, but I won't even bother. Let me know what you think about that. I do love my vintage fragrances. I'll try and do a bit more contemporary stuff soon. Please go and check out the website for Norton & Wilson. We've relaunched it with a new fancy website. And you can buy Gravitas Essentia, the original Gravitas, Bon Vivant, and the amazing Chypre Fulminare there. There's a link in the description. Thank you for joining me, guys. I will leave it there. Have a great day. Remember to join me on the next one too, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, or even if you didn't. Maybe the next video will be better. It could hardly be any worse. We'll see you next time, guys. Remember, whatever you're doing in life, let's project, and sometimes life may stink, but at least we can also always smell good. Bye-bye.